Futurist Jim Carroll, not on the golf course today. And I'm actually live already. There's supposed to be another whole minute. I just did a session with a manufacturing group about the future of manufacturing. It was a really cool event, and it's going to be shared in a little while on the Intertubes. And here's what I was talking about, is really discovering a fun formula, because look, bookings are coming in. I'm supposed to be in Brussels in November, and I'm in Philly, and I'm in Detroit, and I actually have a group trying to get me to Orlando, and I'm already booked. So it looks like road life and stages are coming back, but I'm still going to be using this virtual broadcast studio to great effect, because it's really powerful, the insight that you can share from here. So what I did with this manufacturing group just now was we took a look at the future, and what I was doing was looking at the future. What were we talking about pre-pandemic? What were the big trends? So for example, the World Bank had me over to Marrakesh, Morocco to talk about the future of manufacturing in third world countries. Then we spoke about how did the pandemic change manufacturing? What happened? And then took a really good look at, so what does this mean going forward? How is it going to change in the future? And what I had was I had a list of 10 things pre-pandemic, 10 things the way pandemic changed the industry, and 10 things that we know will happen going forward from here. Because look, people like lists of 10 things, and if you're a Spinal Tap fan, I can make it go to 11. That's neither here nor there. But it's a really good formula, because I've done that in healthcare, I've done that in agriculture, 10, 10, and 10. And what they really got excited about was when I talked about what lessons have organizations learned as we went through this thing. And I think business has forever changed. So I'm going to play you the little clip where I talked about that, which we just had moments ago, because I think this is powerful stuff. And look, whether you're into business or not, it's also just a cool stage set, which I've done down here in the virtual broadcast studio. And if you're following me, you know that we've bought a new house. We're moving to an area called Guelph, Ontario, Canada, and I'll actually be rebuilding this because virtual is still going to be a big part of what we do. So let's hit this clip, and then I'll come back on the other side. If you have a question or comment, actually try and leave something on Facebook or LinkedIn, and I can maybe take it on at the end of this. What is real is that we are running into a world of faster change with a massive boat anchor holding us back from doing what we need to do to align to this faster future. We're putting in place these barriers. We're hiding behind walls in terms of our ability to keep up. And that's what we need to bridge with the gap. What I'm doing is, and I'm now putting in perspective for organizations who previously were dealing with the issue of fast-paced change, what they now need to do to bridge the gap. They need to understand how the gap is increasing, where it's increasing, the impact that has upon what they can do as they go forward into the future, and what they can accomplish by managing to bridge the gap. I want you to think about what the winners through the pandemic have managed to accomplish in terms of their strategy, in terms of their skills, in terms of their capabilities. What happened to a lot of organizations is they had a better appreciation for the impact of digital transformation. My running joke has been that who led your digital transformation? Your CEO, your CIO, your CTO? No, it was COVID-19. Organizations now understand the impact of digital transformation, and if you aren't one of them, that's the type of gap that you were faced with. Think about what happened during the last year as we increasingly moved fast. Organizations banished and eliminated committees. They banished and eliminated all the things which provided us for slow-moving structure in a world that was fast. They were in a situation in which they learned how to accelerate external partnerships. If we don't have the right skills at the right time, for the right purpose, for the right situation, let's go get those skills. And what this has done, it has forever transformed their understanding of what they can accomplish in terms of taking on fast-paced issues. These are your new competitors. It provided organizations with a new ability to implement a very fast change to process, whether it's manufacturing process or the process of getting things done or the process of working something through their bureaucracy. It helped them understand that they can work in new and different ways. Really what it taught them is how do we assemble fast, nimble teams. The world of Zoom conference calls led to a situation in which fast-moving organizations realized that they could bring together a fast-moving team in an instant and take on new challenges, new situations, new complexities, and manage those issues extremely quickly.
It led them to a situation in which they were dealing with faster business model disruption. There was no time to study the impact of the disruptive trends around them. They simply had to deal with the reality of what was occurring. It led them to a situation in which they saw the benefit of faster decision making. They cut through the bureaucracy, they cut through the slow moving process, which held them back from pursuing a fast paced future. It led them to a situation in which they saw the impact of a flatter structure. We could do so many things by eliminating the layers which were in place, and this became a part of our ability to move quickly. They learned something new about how to deploy at speed. They always understood that the future belonged to those who were fast, and they got a sudden new appreciation of what that truly meant. These are staggering trends. It accelerated their ability in terms of product innovation. It led to a situation in which it saw the death of management by PowerPoint, which is probably one of the few good things to come out of the global pandemic, because CEOs and leaders realized we didn't have time to study these things to death. We didn't have time to put together pretty PowerPoint decks. We simply needed to get things done, and we need to do it now. Organizations have learned something new about how to test and manage their supply chain resilience, such that resilience, managing volatility, has become a core focus going forward. They learned to implement an extremely fast change to process. This is the gap that you're faced with. If you haven't done these things, if you haven't learned these lessons, you're now in a situation in which previously the future belonged to those who are fast. The future now belongs to those who are faster. And you need to bridge the gap. And how you do that is you quantify the gap, you understand the trends in your industry. Where is change occurring faster than ever before? What are the trends that are now redefining your future? Where do your weaknesses exist? Where do you have disruptive thinking barriers? Where do you have innovation barriers? And what are the strategies and action plans that you need to pursue to deal with this reality? And that's what I'm covering in this keynote.
Oh, there we are. We're back. I got to tell you, I've been golfing a lot, and it felt really good to get back in front of an audience. I think the guys I golf with are really good to see me getting back in front of an audience, because they're probably getting tired of me talking. But it's all good. Jim Carroll, Futurist Jim Carroll from the virtual broadcast studio, with a great little talk on the future of manufacturing today, and just was bored and thought I'd come in and go live for the fun of it. So I'll leave you with a close, and have a good one.